The Aramaic Peshitta New Testament, brought to you by JesusSpokeAramaic.com. Evidence for the Aramaic Peshitta New Testament, Matthew chapter 7, verse 6. So in this series of lessons, we're looking at evidence that the Aramaic Peshitta is the authentic, original, the nearest we can get to the very words that Jesus and the disciples spoke, that the original language was written in Aramaic, and that when we compare the Aramaic and Greek, we find over and over again that the Aramaic must have been the original. And one of the hallmarks of that is that if you have puns and plays on words, then that demonstrates that it's an original language text, because those puns and plays on words only work in one language. They don't work when you translate it to another language. And so if we look at Matthew chapter 7 and verse 6, it should be a very well-known verse. In the King James it says, "Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet, and turn again and rend you." So we're going to look in particular at just two words in that verse in Aramaic, which demonstrate some really clever and beautiful and actually quite amusing plays on words. So that word give, first of all, that's translated, when we look at the Aramaic Peshitta New Testament, we find that that word is titlun, which is written here. And there's two possible ways to understand that. It looks very much like the word for to give in the plural, masculine plural, which is how people generally have understood it. When you look at the Greek text, it is the word give. Except that there's another level to that. To tell is used again very frequently for to give, but there's another root which is to la, to hang, and it would be written exactly as that if it meant to hang, or hang that which is holy. Except that if we look at the word holy, it is kudsha, as I've written here in the Aramaic, except that when you start to look at that word, and we look, for example, at the Targums, it does mean holy, there's no doubt about that, or holiness, but at the same time there's another a pun or play on words, and it means an earring or a nose ring. And we'll look at, in part 2 of the video, we'll look at various verses from the Targums that show that. So there's two plays on words here. The word to give, titlun, kind of does mean give, but really the better route to translate it from is to hang. And that word holy, it does mean holy, no doubt about that, but at the same time it means an earring or nose ring. So this is a pun or play on words which only occurs in Aramaic. These are not plays on words in Hebrew, for example. Hebrew, the word for to give is natan, and holy is actually the same root, but Hebrew doesn't have that alternative word, meaning earring or nose ring. These puns and plays on words only work in Aramaic. And so when we look at that verse again, with the light of the Peshitta New Testament, either it can mean, "Give not that which is holy unto the dogs," or it could mean, "Don't hang nose rings or earrings on dogs." It's a little bit like in English when we joke and say, "Don't put lipstick on a pig." Well, here it's a sort of similar play on words, meaning don't hang your earrings on dogs, because it doesn't make them look any more beautiful. They won't appreciate that. And so also, give not that which is holy. Something which is holy is precious. Don't cast your pearls before swine. But at the same time, it's saying, it's a repeat of that idea. Don't cast your pearls before swine. Pearls are something that's valuable, but a nose ring or earring is also something which is monetarily valuable. And so there's a sort of double meaning here in the Aramaic. It's give not that which is holy unto the dogs, or don't hang an earring on a dog, which ties into that idea of casting your pearls, casting something that the swine won't appreciate, or which the dogs just won't appreciate. So in Aramaic, this is a very beautiful play on words here, and it's actually an amusing play on words. It's something that if you just pronounce it slightly different, or the hearers would listen and hear that it's a play on words, it's something you will never ever forget. It's a very elegant play on words, it's beautiful, it's amusing, and it gives extra depth and authenticity to the Peshitta that doesn't occur when you look at the translations into Greek. So again, in Greek and English, you only get that idea of give not that which is holy unto the dogs. You don't get these dual meanings of the two words in that verse. This only occurs in Aramaic, and it doesn't occur in Hebrew. So these examples over and over suggest that the Aramaic has a depth, a beauty, an elegance, an authenticity that doesn't occur in the Greek or the English. And that's why these are all the hallmarks that show that the Aramaic is an original language text. These puns don't come across in different languages, and therefore the Aramaic is superior than those other translations. It gives you a clarity, a depth, a beauty that's missing when you look at everything else. So in part 2 of this video, we're going to look in more detail at those particular verses in the Peshitta and also follow through the root of the words in the Targums.